So good morning. We are here for gentle yoga. As always, I'm Gloria. And I thought today I'd start with a little reading for you. You guys have probably seen me use this book before. Heart Steps by Julie Cameron. She's the one who wrote The Artist Way, which, by the way, is a fabulous book, especially for you creatives out there. You can see this is like tagged a million places. But this is the one that popped out to me today. Just to ground us in positivity and the ability to kind of trust the process of whatever you might be going through. So close your eyes for a moment. Just take a nice big deep breath in. And a nice big exhale out. And she writes, "My good is powerful and cannot be stopped. There is no outer block to my highest good. No person, situation, event, or misfortune that can block the flow of good to me. All things work towards the good. As I allow love to come to me, I am fulfilling my true nature. I am listening to the voice within me which says, grow, blossom. This love is nutrition for your true nature. I accept love as I accept the sunshine, the moistening rain. It is natural. I need only to receive it." So, my dears, the sense of just receiving, not pushing away what is. One of my teachers used to say that stress is resistance to what is. Think about that for a moment. Stress is resistance to what is. If we were actually not resisting what is, we wouldn't be stressed about it, whether it's the traffic or the project or, the crick in our shoulder, whatever it is. So we're going to play today with feeling really supported, nurtured, in that good, and nourished. So starting today on the chair, coming towards the front of your seat, giving those shoulders a roll up and back and down. Let the head do a little tip from left to right. It's kind of saying hi to the neck this morning. Good. And then letting the head go back and forth, front to back. Chin towards the chest, and then chin up towards the ceiling. This is called turtle breathing. You might like to time your motion with your breath. See which feels more natural for the inhale or exhale. And then eventually letting that head land right on top, neither left nor right. Just let it feel like a helium balloon, perfectly in the plumb line of gravity, like you had a string on a helium balloon. And on the inhale, let the elbows wing out just a bit. It's subtle. And on the exhale, let them come in towards your sides. Inhaling, lungs puff, elbows wing just a bit. And exhale, elbows in towards the sides as belly button pulls in. And a few more times like this. Almost as if the arms are an extension of the lungs. This sense of expanding the rib cage as the elbows go out, and letting the breath flow out as the elbows come in. Good, nice and gentle. And last one. Here, let's turn our palms face up. We're going to take a big inhale, sweeping arms overhead. Exhale like rain. Feel like you could create a shower of blessings right down over you. And inhaling up. And exhaling. Putting yourself in the column of light. Putting yourself back together. Whatever it feels like for you. Sometimes this feels like the Matrix to me, like everything drops back in to alignment. You can see the truth of who we are. One more. Oh. Good. And pausing at the bottom. Take one hand to opposite knee. I'm not even going to say left or right. Just to the opposite. Maybe it's knee or outside of the thigh. And let the other hand come to your chair seat. Or maybe it's to the back of the chair. See what feels good for your shoulder. You know, we all have different kinds of chairs here, so see what works. If you've got the armchair, maybe putting it on the arm. We're doing a little twist here. First twist of the morning. Spiraling upward. Imagine yourself like a little plant growing up from the earth. And then unwinding, we're going to go right to the other side. Just float it the other way, other hand to outside of thigh. And back hand can be on the chair seat or the chair back or the chair arm. Wherever it is, let it help feel like it could pull you up. If it's on the chair seat, maybe push into it so you've got some lift from the back. Spiraling upwards. Your twists help to unravel tension. Good. And coming back to center. Nice big inhale up. Let's let one hand take the other wrist. And we're going to tip to the side of the lower hand. That top arm gets this whole extension up the side, ribs, the shoulder. Breathing. If you feel like you can't breathe, you've gone too far over. So back it up to where you can breathe, but you're using abdominals and back muscles to help hold this. And breathing in that top lung. What does it feel like to open that top lung? Good. Coming on up, we're going to let the other hand take the other wrist and go the other way. And keep both sits bones heavy. The tendency is to kind of lift up one butt cheek off the chair. And we want to keep both sits bones heavy here to feel grounded in the base, even as you tip to the side. So breathing in that top lung. Could we even turn towards the top arm? Good. And inhaling up. Exhale, float those arms down. Enjoy the ride. There's going to be lots of tingling, sensation, maybe heat. And then give those shoulders a roll. Excellent. So we're going to take right foot now and bend it over left knee or left thigh. So already this is a figure 4 stretch. You want to flex this foot, helps protect this outer knee. We're going to use our hands to help pick up our foot and our knee and give this foot a little rock. And you may want to come even further towards the front of your seat here. So it's really just sits bones on the seat, this bottom foot grounded on the floor, and just rocking the baby here. How can we really nurture this leg, this right hip? Maybe blow a kiss towards your right toe. Love you, right toe. Thanks for all you do. Helping us walk around. Thank you, right knee. Good. And then coming on down, maybe noticing the difference between right and left side for a moment. And we'll even it out. So take other leg across. This might be a stretch for you right here. Just start to feel the outer hip or piriformis chain flexing this foot that's going across. And we're going to pick up the foot and the knee, just supportive here. Doing a little rock. Yes. You also get a little massage for the buttocks on the chair here as you do this. And what kind of love could we send to this left leg? Thank you, left leg. A little kiss towards your left toe. Good. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to kiss your left toe. Oh, good. And then coming back down. So just feeling how you've already started to loosen up the body a little bit, even in the chair. I'm going to spread feet a little wider now and definitely come towards the front edge of the chair. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Drop one shoulder in towards the middle and look over the other shoulder. So we're doing a little twist here. Inhale through the center, exhale other way. So getting behind those shoulder blades, behind the ribs. Yeah, so different kind of twist here. We're getting to explore the spaces between the ribs. What is the shoulder I want to do that's going in towards the center? Go back and forth a few more times. And nowhere to get to. Just appreciating all our spine does, all our rib cage does, all that our shoulders hold. And then finally, last one. Coming back to center. Good job. So hopefully you still have a tie in the neighborhood as well. We're going to do a little hamstring stretch here. So I'm going to loop the tie around the instep of the right foot. And your left leg can just be nice and grounded here on the floor. I'm going to hold on to either end of the tie. And if you don't have a tie, you can just hold on behind your thigh here, because we're going to be lifting this leg. The idea here is to have a little bit of support for lifting this leg, pulling in your abdominals. Notice how easy it is to slouch here and instead press down through sits bones and up through heart. Let's give a little side to side here as well. High groin, inner thigh. Yeah. Again, nowhere to get to, just exploring. Gotta be fun. And then coming on down. Pause for a moment. Notice the difference between left and right sides. So our chair yoga isn't necessarily geriatric yoga at all. You can get a lot of good stretching and toning and engagement, even right here in the chair. So we are gonna go to the other foot. So whether it's tie on the foot or whether it's hands interlaced behind this leg, that's another option if you don't have a tie. You're gonna take this left leg out, right foot on the floor, pull in the abdominals, press down through sits bones, and roll the shoulders back and down. Give a little movement here. Say hi to the inner thighs. And again, using those abs to help keep this leg up as well as the tie. Excellent. And now releasing. Good job. Your tie to the side. And we're going to come around to the back of our chair now. So go ahead and stand up. Just move this forward so you can see it. And if you need space behind you, you might want to move your chair forward. So we're going to be using the chair for support here for a couple of standing poses. So walk yourself back, feet hip distance apart. We're going to do down dog on the chair. So hands at least shoulder distance apart on the top of the chair. Maybe it's just wrists over the chair. Maybe it's hands on the chair. Send buttocks backward and melt heart. You want to come to head framed by the arms. And long back, soft knees. Yeah, what could you release through the shoulders? Melting the heart here. Good. And then walking forward towards the chair. Enjoy that release. The shoulders are rolled back and down. We're going to use the chair to help us balance today. So bring weight towards your right foot. We're going to turn left knee out. So left heel is going to be right by your right ankle. And this might be your tree pose today, this little kickstand of the foot, most of the weight in the right leg. If you like, you can take this right foot up the right calf. Let your calf meet your foot. And you find the stabilization there. Imagine your roots going down through the earth. And even here in winter, when the trees are bare, really sense the roots deep in the earth, the sap, the power that is waiting to burst forth in the spring. And if you like, you can also stay holding onto the chair with the right hand. Take the left arm up. So you've got long diagonal line from the right leg to the left arm. But drop shoulder into shoulder blade. Yes. Breathing. Conduit between heaven and earth. Chair pose, or a tree pose rather, with a chair. And coming on down, releasing, walking it out for a moment, maybe experiencing the difference between left and right legs. So we start to build strength in our standing leg as we do these kinds of poses, and also discernment of where that center line is, even when left and right are doing different things. So, going to get grounded in left leg. Imagine you could send roots down through the left foot. We're going to turn out the right knee, right ankle, right heel just near your ankle. And this might be your tree base here today. 90% of the weight in the left leg and just a little bit on that kickstand. You feel steady drawing this right foot up the left calf. Let those two really meet and connect, like this right leg is just a tree branch, reconnected to the whole trunk. Good, and staying holding on with the left hand. Extend the right arm way up, reaching. And if the shoulder gets caught up by the ear, drop the shoulder back down again, so our tree branch is really connected in to the whole trunk. Feel your head growing up towards the sun. And breathing. Vrikshasana, tree pose with a chair. And then coming back down and walk it out. So I like doing that pose with a chair. It takes all the worry about falling out of it, but we still get to cultivate our feeling of steadiness, working on balance, getting to experience the whole energy of that pose. So we're going to put our chair to the side now. Go ahead and move your chair and come meet me towards the front of the mat. And bring your blocks with you, yoga blocks. We are going to do a little simple flow here today to start to continue to get into deepening our practice. So spread those feet wide, hip distance apart. Let your blocks be right outside your feet. There. Good. Give those shoulders a roll up and back and down. Little micro bend in the knees, that little zip of imaginary jeans, and sending the tail down so that the lower body is really under the upper body. Let's inhale sun breath up. Gather all the light you're needing. And exhale over the high bar, upward salute. Doesn't have to be a huge back bend. Good, inhale up. Exhale, softening knees, hinging at the hips. We're gonna swan dive forward. It could be hands to blocks. And remember, blocks can go low, medium, and high. So depending on how far forward you feel like going today, use those blocks for support. You may like to just drape completely without the blocks, also an option. Keeping the knees soft so that the belly can get close to the thighs and the back can waterfall. Could you really let the head go? Good, pressing into the feet now. We're gonna uncurl through a cat back like a roll top disc or a fiddlehead fern, one of those beautiful ferns that spirals upwards. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhaling up, gathering. Exhale over the high bar, upward salute, just where we were. Inhaling up and swan diving forward, just where we've been. Hands to blocks. This time take left foot way back, high runner's lunge. And keep the heel of that back foot off the floor, so just on the ball of that back foot. Remember, you can always turn blocks higher if you want to be a little higher in your lunge. Hands really supportive right under shoulders. Subtly pull right hip back and left hip forward. It's a little anti-intuitive because the other leg is back, but this squares off the hips towards the front of the mat. Good. We're going to step forward. So think about where that left foot's going to go. Give a little pump off that back leg, send hips high, and step forward. Inhale, sun breath up, all the way to the top. Maybe experiencing the difference between left and right legs right now. Exhale over the high bar, upward salute. Inhale up to center and exhale, pro palms. Just pausing for a moment, noticing where's the breath, where's the heartbeat. Maybe that difference between left and right, the natural impetus to want to even it out. Is it okay to be unbalanced? To be okay with what is? Allow good to come to you. Good, nice big inhale up. I'm going to do the other side. Sun breath up, exhale over the high bar. Oh. Inhale up to center, nice and gentle, folding forward, soft knees, hands to blocks. Those blocks are right outside your feet, right under your shoulders. Big stride back with right foot. High runner's lunge on the other side. Remember, this could also be like fists on blocks, TP fingers on blocks. Doesn't have to necessarily be flat palms if your wrists aren't liking that. So get creative here. See what works for you. Maybe fists on blocks. And long line from the back heel to the crown of the head. That back leg, we want to puff it out. Subtly send right hip forward, left hip back. Squaring off the hips more towards the front. Good. And now we're going to pump off that back leg. We're going to step forward with this right foot. Send hips high, step forward. And now press into both feet. Inhale, sun breath up. Take your time. all the way to the top. Exhale over the high bar. And inhale up to center and exhale, prayer palms. And pausing. Be feeling the rebalancing now. Where's the heartbeat? Where's the breath? Good. So we're going to continue adding to this gentle flow here. So inhale up. This time, steeple fingers up there. Pressing hips one direction and tip reach and stretch the other way. Half moon. Using abdominals and back muscles equally. Inhale up to center. Exhale other way. Half moon. We've actually had a full moon this week. Really feeling that arc. Going side to side again. The inhale draws you up and the exhale is your curve. And this time as you come up to center, let's come down through cactus. Elbows in line with shoulders, a little spiky on the hands, broad chest. Taking hands behind you now. There might be one hand grabbing a wrist. If you've got any shoulder things going on, any rotator cuff issues, use your tie or something to hold on to. Just maybe even a few inches between your hands or even wider, maybe shoulder distance apart between your hands, and just rolling the shoulders back and down. You'll naturally have a bit of a dog back here. Opening chest, squeezing wings. Nice. And spread your feet wider. I'm going to go into the standing yoga mudra pose, the seal of yoga. So hinging at the hips, bending the knees, let the head take a dive, looking through your legs, let the arms come off the back. Again, your choice about how far down you want to go. Breathe in, noticing. And now pressing into those feet and uncurling. Keeping the hands interlaced or the hold on the tie until you come all the way up. And now release or drop it. And close your eyes for a moment. Let those arms float. And the after effects of that. Nice. And releasing. So, we're going to take our 2 blocks with us for this next series. I'm actually going to turn sideways just so you can see me more on this one. So I'm going to take a simple stride with right foot. And it's not like a big warrior stride. It's just like a simple, like a long stride if you were just walking, so that feet can be parallel. And we're a little bit kind of Egyptian hieroglyph here. And in fact, this is called pyramid pose. So that's the pyramid, is the base here of our legs. So with your blocks, take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward, not bending the front knee. Put your blocks down, and it might be just little teepee fingers on your blocks. The tall way. Sending right hip back, left hip forward. You might find that you can then put palms on blocks. And we're just looking for horizontal or close to horizontal for the torso, and straight for legs. So obviously a big hamstring stretch. And if you need to be higher, totally fine. So here's the fun part. How do we come out? So we're going to bend this front knee like a little mini warrior. Take your blocks with you. Inhale up, a little warrior 1. Good. And then releasing and step it back, lock it out for a moment. Just notice the difference between left and right sides. right now. So this gets deep into this whole sciatic chain up the back of the leg, through the buttocks, the low back. So feet hip distance apart, simple stride with left foot, hieroglyph. Nice big inhale up, taking your blocks with you. Exhale, hinge. And put those blocks so they're the highway and really nice and supportive here. Might be little barely fingertips on blocks or fists on blocks or flat palms on blocks. Sending right hip back, left hip, right hip forward rather, left hip back. Finding long line between the crown of the head and the tail, rolling shoulders away from the ears. Temptation is to round the back here, but see if you can flatten it out. Let the belly hang, let the chest move forward. And now bending that front knee for support to grab your blocks, take them with you. Inhaling up into our little warrior. And then walking it out. Take a step in, walk it out. Nice job. Hello, backs of legs. So we are going to come down to hands and knees now. And if you need extra cushioning under your knees, feel free to use a blanket, double up your mat. We're going to do a nice version of puppy stretch here, which is a great shoulder release. And why don't you turn your blocks the low way and long in front of you so that forearms can rest on blocks. So it's kind of like, look, Ma, no hands, right? We don't have any pressure now on the wrists or hands. And you may want to slip these blocks an inch or two forward for these forearms. So we're going to start to explore shifting weight backward, getting a long back. So a puppy stretch with a little support here for the forearms gives more shoulder release. And then as weight goes forward, a little weight bearing on those forearms. So just explore, go back and forth a few times. Buttocks going backward, tail still in the air here. So it's not a child pose, we're just moving back and forth between kind of a high puppy stretch. What wants to open through the ribs, the lungs, the shoulders? Let it be therapeutic. Know where to get to. Well, the next time you're back and hanging, just pause for a moment. Letting the head be framed by the arms, the upper arms. And now walking your hands back to the mat. Welcome back underneath you. Move the blocks out of the way. So we're back in our table pose and do a few cats and cows here now. Letting belly hang and head come up and tail come up. On the inhale and going the other way, Halloween cat. On the exhale, rounding. Let's see how the spine feels today. Yes, one more round. Nice. And now sitting back to get off these knees. Bring soles of feet together now, down angle. And this is a good place for blocks. And blocks under calves or under knees. Another nice way to support this pose, if you've got your blanket or your towel, is to make a little jelly roll out of that. Literally wrap it around your ankles. Creates kind of a soft support here. And that really can feel good. So now pressing down through sits bones and up through heart. Hang backward, cat back. Tucking chin in, rounding backward. And then inhaling, pressing down through sits bones, up through heart, up through crown of head. And then exhale, rounding back. One more time. Inhale, really feeling your groundedness through your sits bones. This resiliency of being able to flow back and forth with the spine. Next time you're up, forward, we're going to let the elbows come out towards the knees and start to hinge forward. First, just flat back. Might just be an inch or two. Doesn't have to be far. And now, taking a dive, head towards feet. Maybe the hands want to hold the feet, or maybe the hands want to spider out towards the front of the mat. But even if the head's in space, which for most of us it will be, get more opening for the back body, space between the shoulder blades, space between the vertebrae. What could you soften? Could you soften elbows, jaw? Breathing and noticing. Supported bound angle pose here. Obviously a hip opener, groin opener, but also opportunity to pay attention to the back body. Where do we hold tension in the back? Can you breathe into those spaces? Letting the exhale be the softening, the releasing. And then slowly walking the hands up and taking the torso up. Puffing out chest and heart one more time. And in fact, this time let's take hands behind us. Do a little back bend here, really puffing out the heart. Sunbathe. Ah, awesome. And then coming back up to sit. So releasing all this. And we're going to do a restorative back bend now. So restorative yoga, I know many of you have gotten to take some restorative yoga workshops with me. Restorative yoga is really passive. And once again, we get the opportunity to use our props as support for our body. So if you have a yoga bolster, you might want to use it for this. We're going to do supported fish pose. I know some of you do have bolsters. And if you don't, not a big deal. We are going to do this with a blanket or a towel or even your blocks. So watch me first. I'm going to show you a couple of different options depending on what you have around you. And of course, getting creative with what we have around our house, whether it's couch cushions or beach towel, etc. So if you've got a bolster, excuse me, let me get mine out here for a moment. So if you have a bolster, what we're going to do is put one end, a block under one end to make a little ramp. Maybe put a blanket or a pillow down beneath and over. And the idea here is that we're going to have buttocks off the bolster and we're going to get to lounge over this support with open heart and open chest. For those of us who don't have bolsters, I'm going to show you a couple of options. So one is that you can essentially use two blocks for similar support. So one would be kind of the low way and the long way of your back, and the other potentially for your head. Now, blocks can sometimes feel like too much pressure on your back. So definitely encourage you to soften that. Again, maybe putting towel or blanket over that. to make a little support. So what this is going to look like is we want that block right at the beginning of our waist, supporting our ribs, and then finding where this other block needs to move so that your head is supported and not hanging back. This might still feel like too much of a back bend for you, depending on your blocks and the flexibility of your spine. So I want to show you one more option. And this is a perfectly fine option as well. So it could be kind of a low pillow or simply your blanket or towel being the low support. Might be that your head support doesn't have to be so high. Could be something like this, and coming over. Yeah. Ah. But either way, it is this opportunity to have the chest and the heart open and a little bit of a back bend. So I'm going to invite you to get creative with what you have. It could also be a folded towel or blanket, making that similar support there. Yeah. And lots of options for the legs here. You might like having your feet out wide on the mat and the knees knocking together to kind of hold each other up. You might prefer to just have them out straight. You might prefer to be in bound angle pose, where we were with soles of feet together and support under your knees. Maybe that's, again, blocks and different support for your head. Oh, so we're looking for the sweet spot. We're looking to find a place where we can hang out with broad chest and belly. And relaxing your jaw. Really letting the shoulders roll off the sides of whatever you're lying on. So you want that to be narrow enough, maybe torso width or even narrower, so that the shoulders can roll off the sides and expand our chest and heart. So finding your version of supported fish pose here today. Allowing the heart to be free here. Expansive. Let the breath flow naturally. See where the breath wants to go. Could the whole top half of the body melt towards the bottom half? And here, when we're open and relaxed, do another beautiful affirmation from Julia Cameron. The universe is in constant contact for my well-being. I open my mind and heart to guidance from the universe. I am open to guidance in all of its many forms. I accept help from the universe through people, events, and places which inspire and instruct me. I listen to the song of life played through many instruments, through children, animals, the wind, a bird, a flash of sparkling sunlight off grass. All things speak my language. I listen to all languages with my heart. My heart hears higher and higher frequencies of guidance as I raise my own thoughts to the possibility of higher realms guiding me and embracing my own. So we are not going to sit up. If your knees aren't already bent, I'm going to invite you to bend your knees and walk your feet up towards your buttocks. We're going to roll to one side. Pick a side to roll to. It's going to be kind of a little rolling dismount, especially if you're on a bolster and you're a little higher. You need a little rolling dismount to the side. Like a little pillow with your lower arm. Just supporting yourself here. And then using those hands, press your way back up to sit. Pausing for a moment. Noticing. Good. And we're going to do a little counter stretch now, since that was a little back bend. We're going to get a little traction for the spine now. So come on down on your back. We're moving whatever was there for support. Come all the way down on your back, tuck in your knees. Maybe there's still a little support for your head, whether it's a blanket or a low pillow. And hug in those knees and rock side to side now. And massage for low back. Nice. Holding in right knee and extend left leg out along the floor. In relieving pose, just feeling the difference between left and right hips and thighs. Breathing big. And inhaling that left knee up and extend right leg out to the bottom of the mat. Traction forward the back here. A reset for the back. Breathing and noticing. Relaxing the jaw. And then finally, both knees in. Hugging them both in. Remember, you can hold behind the thighs in front of the shins. One final little rock. Massage the sacrum, the kidneys. Whatever feels good there. Whatever feels good and nurturing and nourishing for you. Good. And now we're going to shift into our final relaxation. So if you want to use bolster under your knees or a little two blocks side by side under your knees. So we've got all our props around, or a little pillow under the head or under the knees. Maybe your blanket over you to get cozy today. See what will help you feel really nice and supported for our final relaxation today. Breathing, getting settled in. Making any adjustments that you need to help you feel comfortable, maybe an eye pillow, maybe putting back on socks or a layer. And as you settle in or rest here, allowing yourself this gift, this nurturing gift of rest and relaxation. So when our body does its healing and recalibrating, allowing the breath to be soft and easy here, a natural ebb and flow. Becoming the witness. What if there was nothing to change, nothing to prove, nothing to fix? And that we could allow that universal divine wisdom to take care of anything that we'd like to hand over. Maybe softening the hands and the fingers purposely, even a little more, as if water could spill out between your fingers. No need to hold on too tightly. Letting the brow be smooth, the face relaxed, the tongue and teeth and lips be soft. And when you are ready, taking a nice big deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Oh. Allowing the fingers and toes to start to wiggle. Maybe the wrists, the ankles, little snap, crackle, pops. And then back to the body, back to this time and space. And take a yawn, stretch, wiggle, sigh. Be really luxurious. When you're ready, bending those knees, rolling to one side, taking your time, pausing with lower arm being a pillow, or maybe you've got a pillow or a block there already. Just to pause in a little fetal position on your side. Once again, appreciating yourself and appreciating yourself for showing up for this practice. Yoga is never really about perfecting anything. It's a practice. And also preparation for meditation. The bigger philosophy of yoga, the asana practice, all these poses, is really just preparation for meditation. One step in a path to enlightenment. So using your hands to press your way back up to sit. Finding just the right place for your comfort today. Maybe it's sitting cross-legged, maybe it's sitting on your chair again. Let's put one hand to belly, one hand to heart. Ending with a little 3-part breathing, pranayama. It's called Durga breath. So inhale through the belly, and then let the breath be drawn up through the chest, maybe even up to the sinuses, to the crown of the head. And then exhale, imagine it flowing all the way back down through the upper body, down through the lower body, maybe even down into the earth. And then inhale up from the earth, big in the belly. Draw the breath up through mid-chest, through upper chest, all the way up. Let's do an open mouth exhale this time. So like a long breathy note. And keep it going, your pace, this feeling of puffing out the belly first and then letting the breath rise, and that open mouth exhale. Enjoying the sound of your own breath. Especially during these troubling times over the last year or two, we have not wanted to breathe too deeply. And this is your invitation to breathe more fully in a way that really nurtures and fills you up. Allowing that long breath to spill out through the mouth, like singing a long note. Beautiful. And then dropping any technique, dropping the hands. And let's bring hands to prayer palms, right in front of the third eye, thumbs right in that space where your nose and your forehead and your eyebrows meet. Acknowledging your inner vision and intuition and that guidance, that open to guidance from the universe in all its forms. And then rubbing hands together, like a little heat. Let's just twinkle out to each other today. Sending some of that light and guidance out to each other. Blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings to all of you. Hari Om, Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. And namaste.